Alright, today's video is one for the die-hard Audi fans. We're looking at the RS3, the 5-cylinder turbo hero, going head-to-head not just with his baby brother, the S3, but also some serious icons. A tuned monster, Audi 220V Quattro, and the legendary Lexus LFA. This is Audi flexing 4 decades of turbo 5-cylinder history, all the way from Group B roots to the modern RS3, and then measuring it against one of the most exotic V10 supercars ever built. The hook here is simple. Can a relatively attainable sedan with a quirky engine layout and all-wheel drive really embarrass cars with far more displacement, cylinders, and exotic credentials? The RS3's recipe is all about brutal launches and relentless traction, while the S3 offers a cheaper 4-cylinder take that many buyers think is enough, and then throwing an 800 horsepower old school Audi into the mix. Buckle in.
First things first, we need to see just how much quicker the 5-cylinder RS3 is than its 4-cylinder S3 brother. After all, you get more for your $10,000 than just great sound. So we called our buddies at 034 Motorsport and asked for one of their stupid fast, crazy 400 horsepower tuned S3s, and then asked them to put it back to stock, which they did because they are lovers of science. No surprise here, 401 horsepower versus 306 in the same car means the RS3 is quicker. It gets to the quarter mile almost 12 car lengths ahead of the 4-cylinder, and to 60 miles an hour a full second sooner than the S3. Not that the S3 is a slouch. It runs the quarter in the same time as another car that sounds amazing, and has 166 more horsepower, that V8-powered Lexus IS 500. But enough with the 4 and 8-cylinder cars, because today we're here for the Cinco, because it's Cinco de Reso. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, five. Look, Audi put itself on the enthusiast map with 4-wheel drive and a turbo 5-cylinder 40 years ago with the original Sport Quattro. That engine wound up here in one of its final forms. 2.2 liters, twin cam, 4-valve per cylinder, and a huge turbocharger. On this particular one, because its owner is insane.
Here we go, the RS3 lining up against the S3. Same chassis, same gearbox, both all-wheel drive, but one has that 5-cylinder masterpiece. And you see the difference immediately. The RS3 leaps forward, hooks up, and by the time they hit the quarter mile, it's not even close. And it makes sense when you dig into the numbers. The RS3's 401 horsepower is all about that broad torque curve. Peak torque kicks in at just over 2,000 RPM and sticks around, so with launch control it just catapults forward. The S3, meanwhile, with 306 horsepower, isn't exactly weak. In fact, it's about as quick as a V8 Lexus IS 500 in the quarter. But against the RS3, it feels outgunned, and that full second gap to 60 tells the story. It's the drivetrain calibration. The RS3's rear torque splitter and more aggressive launch programming mean you're getting that power down with almost no wheel spin, while the S3 system feels softer, tuned more for all-weather security than performance. So yeah, if you're cross-shopping these cars and care about raw pace, the RS3 is just different.
The talented and works for 034 Motorsport and brought this from its original 217 horsepower all the way up to about 800. And if that seems unfair, it's not, because the next car in the lineup has more than twice the displacement and twice the cylinders. It is, of course, the Lexus LFA and its 4.8-liter V10. Hi, Andy.
Hey, Jason.
I heard you like the paddle.
You mean like the one you used when you hazed me into the secret fraternity of automotive journalists?
Randy, that was a private moment between us. I'm talking about the transmission. It's a paddle shift.
Oh, I like those too.
Kidding me? That big silver box just ripped off a sub 3-second 0 to 60. And then, thanks to 26 pounds of boost and 8,500 RPM, well, it kept that going and landed square in McLaren territory with a 10.5-second run through the quarter mile. I mean, that is just completely insane. That's the tuner car world. However, if that is insane, this is stupid, because that thing crossed the quarter mile mark 220 feet before those cars. In our bizarre little world, an entry-level 5-passenger Audi sedan just kept up with a carbon-tubbed Lexus LFA, despite it having 152 fewer horsepower. And by the way, they weigh about the same. So of course it all comes down to the launch. The Audi has all-wheel drive and aggressive launch control. And so by 60 miles an hour, it already has a 0.4 of a second advantage.
The old school Audi 200 Quattro, a big slab of 90s German steel, just dropped a sub 3-second 0 to 60 and then ran a 10.5-second quarter mile. For reference, that's a McLaren 720S performance from a family saloon that originally came with just over 200 horsepower. It's also a perfect reminder of how tunable those old Audi engines are. Stock, they were quick for the time, but nothing earth-shattering. But the iron block 5-cylinder has become a legend because it can take boost levels that will grenade most other motors. That's why you see builds like this comfortably embracing modern supercars. And visually, it's hilarious, boxy as anything, but keeping company with McLarens and Lamborghinis in terms of time slips. That is tuner culture distilled. Take something ordinary, crank it to 11, and watch exotic owners squirm.
After 60 miles an hour, it's just all about the Lexus. The LFA accelerates from 60 to 100 miles an hour 1 full second sooner than the RS3 does. That, despite its single clutch automated manual having to interrupt power every single time it shifts. That has some serious firepower. Which means that even though these two cars cross the line at about the same time, the Lexus is going 7 miles an hour more quickly. So it's sayonara Audi.
What a lineup. Honestly, the bit that made me laugh was seeing a chunky old Audi 200 bullying its way into supercar territory. That's tuner madness at its finest. The RS3 though, that thing has to be one of the best real-world performance bargains out there. The way it leaps off the line makes even an LFA look nervous for the first few seconds, and that's the beauty of it. You don't need a carbon tub or screaming V10 to feel like you're winning every stoplight sprint. Now, the LFA still has that spine-tingling magic. The noise alone is worth the price of admission, But if I'm being honest, day to day, I'd take the RS3. It's usable, it's fast, and it's got character baked into every single rev. If you've got this far and enjoyed this video, why not consider hitting subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.